Wrestling champion. Powerful. Unstoppable. Undisputed.
I always wondered if I could have made it in wrestling. I mean, I'm pretty fit. That shit's fake anyways. Even women do it. Oh, fuck. Okay. I tap. God damn it. Well, it's real to me, damn it. Welcome back to the DNA podcast. Make It Happen podcast has been renamed, right? So it's a bit of an impromptu. I might be all over the place here. It's we didn't expect to have this guest today, but when this lady is in town, you have to stop everything you're doing. You got to make sure you get her on the show. So Ashley, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great, Dan. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. So for those who don't know, Ashley, you are a professional wrestler, and you have a show tonight here in Montreal for MEW.
Yes.
Very excited about that.
Big tournament. Tournament, yes.
So you might fight more than one match?
We are doing, this is the end. So this tournament has taken place over several months. The last time I was in Montreal, I got admitted into the tournament by winning my match in September.
Okay.
And then Silesia Sparks won the following one, and Lufisto won the following one after that.
Okay.
And now it is the three of us battling for the first ever, the inaugural women's championship belt.
So it's going to be a triple threat match.
Triple threat match.
Oh, that's amazing.
Great.
So, when I heard you were in town, I'm like, we have to have her on.
Amazing.
So thank you again for being here.
Absolutely.
So we want to go to a bit. We don't know. I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. Not as into it now, not because it's not good, but just because of lack of time. Now that you're here, we're gonna watch more.
Yes.
So we want to know how did you get there? So did you always wanted to be a wrestler?
No, actually, my dream as a child, like my childhood dream that I pursued until I was 28 years old, was dance. And
Dance.
Yes.
What type of dance?
Ballet, tap, jazz, acrobatics, hip hop, lyrical, anything I can get my feet into.
Nice.
Yeah.
It explains why you're so athletic in the ring.
Thank you. It's a lot of crossover. It's been more helpful than I thought.
So that's fantastic. It could show that you're like more athletic than the norm, let's say. But how did that go? Why did you give up on that and then transition into wrestling?
Yeah. Deciding to stop auditioning was so tough, but I moved to New York City to dance. So I've been dancing since I was 2 years old.
Okay.
And then I got my degree in college, my dance degree for dance performance and administration.
Okay.
I took that and I started working for international performing dance companies based out of New York City.
Okay.
Did a lot of admin work for them. Then I did like understudy work for companies, but never got a full spot on the team or the roster.
Okay.
So it's so funny how similar it is looking back now to how you work your way up and you pay your dues in dance.
Yes.
As you do for wrestling.
For wrestling's the same thing, yeah.
Yes. So it just for years and years and years trying to make it in the city and becoming a professional bartender instead.
Okay.
It just was exhausting and I couldn't, I didn't like being that old and not being able to feed myself comfortably and having so many jobs and trying to go after it. I switched from concert dance auditions to go more commercial dance for I was starting to look for football game dancers like for the Jets or for the Giants or for the Brooklyn Nets. Oh my goodness, brain fart. For the Brooklyn Nets, that was the one I got so close. It felt like you go through like the last elimination rounds, excuse me, and I thought I had that spot. And when I didn't get that spot, I was like, I made myself a promise because I was so confident I was going to get it.
Okay.
I was like, if I don't get this, that's it. I'm done. And I didn't get it. So I was like, okay, let's focus on building myself a little bit more of stability and then see where that takes me.
Well, so you say stability, but for a lot of people would say is wrestling really stable because that's another dream, right? It doesn't mean you're gonna make it, although it seems like you're doing pretty well now. How did that come about? Why did you go wrestling?
So even at that point, I did not. Wrestling was not even in sight.
Okay.
Until I was 30.
Oh, look at that.
I was just about 30, and what ended up creating that space for me to have another dream was the pandemic.
Oh, look at that.
Everything
positive
stopped.
From the pandemic.
Yes.
There you go.
Man, I started like really grinding in the fitness industry, and I was working like 10 days a week, it felt like, in New York. And I was building up my finances, building up my credit, got a really nice apartment in Brooklyn Heights. I was the manager at Orange Theory Fitness.
Nice.
And then I was doing international fitness retreats. It was good. And I loved doing that, but there still wasn't, I've never not had a passion, a number one passion that I was chasing. I didn't have a dream anymore. It was just like, get out of debt.
yes, one focus, one goal, but not necessarily living your a dream. Yeah.
But that didn't occur to me until I found wrestling, and when everything settled and stopped, and I couldn't work anymore because every gym,
closed
everything,
down.
Non-essential. So what do I do? So, a friend of mine who I lived with in Brooklyn when I was making like nothing. I was living in a house full of people with a little room for like $500 a month, and he was like, "I can see you being one of the best wrestlers. Like you dance, you lift, you're a competitive bodybuilder, you have the look, you have the athleticism, all this stuff." And I was just kind of like, yeah. That's not a real job. Like, I need to figure out my finances now. Like, that's why I didn't either. I was like, that's not stable. And my goal right now is to be stable. But then the whole world destabilized. So I was like, well, that's out the window. Let's chase another dream.
Let's get a dream.
Never been more grateful for that little seed that he planted. Joel Ruda, shout out to you. Love you.
He sounds like he's a good promo, too. The way you said that. Like, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Yes.
So you decide to transition into wrestling. Were you always a wrestling fan? Did you watch it growing up, or how
I
did it
did
go?
watch it growing up. I have very vivid memories of watching like The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, like in the Attitude Era with my dad. So I'm getting chills right now. This was my daddy-daughter time memories. I would watch wrestling to watch my dad watch wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh yeah.
You can see the child in him probably going, yeah.
Yes. And like, and I believed everything that I saw on that television. I didn't like seeing people get hurt.
Pain,
yeah. But then my dad is a third-degree black belt in 3 different martial arts, and I was always wanting to be like, can I do karate? When can I learn how to be a badass? You know. Another thing we watched all the time was like martial art movies, like
with Jet Li.
Yes.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah. And seeing him have that background, I wanted to do that, but he always pushed me, and he's like, look at Jacques D'Amboise. He was the first male principal ballet dancer
right?
for New York City Ballet. Yep. So I was like, that's what I'm going to do. If I can't do karate, he said the closest thing to karate is ballet.
Ballet.
So I was like, okay, I'll do ballet then.
So your dad must be ecstatic now to see that, because I'm imagining maybe he still watches wrestling. He still enjoys it, especially with you there, no?
Especially now. Ooh, when he started to watch my matches, especially in the beginning, he's the reason why I had to get into jiu-jitsu. He's a 3rd-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he saw me learn how to fall in wrestling, or he saw me fall, and he was like, chérie, no. You need to learn how to fall. You need to get in a jiu-jitsu class or this or that. And I was like, it's the pandemic. What? Like, I'm already secretly training. Like, my wrestling school was not allowed to be open.
Yeah.
So I got in with some local cops in upstate New York, or outside of Manhattan, and I trained with cops
for jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
nice.
And I learned how to fall. I learned how to take hits. I learned how to protect myself, and that has helped me a lot in just avoiding accidents in wrestling that happen. You know, everyone goes in there with one intention, but sometimes shit happens.
Yeah,
and you have to have quick reflexes. You have to be on your toes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll watch your match with a whole new different view now that I know the jiu-jitsu and the maybe karate in the childhood. How did you go about becoming a wrestler? That's a question I get often. Like, where do you go? Once you decide, okay, I'm going to do this, what did you do?
My whole path to get where I am has been blessed. Like, I don't understand. I've learned to stop asking how and just
enjoy
and be like, okay, this is where we're going. Because if you know where you want to go, and I had the huge opportunity and the blessing to be put in the right hands to get me to AEW faster than I was honestly ready.
Okay.
And being able to taste what it's like to be at a top spot like that 6 months in to my training
made you want it more. I'm sure, no?
But it set that intention where I didn't need to understand or I know that people have told me along the way since then all the struggles that they went through to get to their opportunities to even have a shot for a match on Dark or to have a tryout for WWE or whatever company was their dream. And I had my first opportunity was with AEW, and I set that locked hard in my heart that that's where I want to go. And I was always raised, you look at where you want to be and then you let God handle the how.
That's very nice.
So I just, when I had that intention, everything kind of moved into position. Like I went into wrestling. I was put into a position where I was sponsored to start learning because my friend, so Joel, who got me started, he actually called me when the pandemic happened. And he's the one that was like, I need to ask you one more time. Will you please come and train, learn how to wrestle? I have someone who will pay for your first training. And I was like,
because he wasn't wrestling.
He
Joel.
was yes.
Okay.
He was a manager.
Okay.
And he learned some training so that he could be in segments of matches. Okay. But he wasn't like a full wrestler. He worked with them. Okay. So, but he saw me and he was like, you need to be a main wrestler. Yes. So he asked me one more time, like years later. And I was like, okay, the world shut down. Let's do this. So I was actually living in Florida in the beginning of the pandemic. I went back to New York for the middle and end of the pandemic and just to wrestle. And it was in the middle of the summer. I started wrestling for like maybe 2 weeks. My dad saw the videos, told me I needed to do jiu-jitsu, started doing jiu-jitsu, got a call from my brother, and my dad had a heart attack.
Oh.
And, excuse me, I'm sorry.
No.
I stopped everything. Yeah. Leah found a way to fly from Canada to Florida. We all flew down to Florida, and everything just stopped. And I was like, I'm not going to wrestle if he doesn't make it. Yeah. So good news is he made it. And then by the time I went back to New York, it was just, I didn't really know where to pick up anymore. It just felt kind of like, okay, my dad's alive. All right, we can figure this out. And then someone heard that I was back and I still wanted to continue to train. And they put me in another training facility. They put me in touch with Damian Adams, who is the top female trainer in the Northeast. That's how he's recognized. Okay. So it was literally 20 minutes from where I started learning how to roll around. So that's what expedited everything. Damian Adams got me in touch with QT Marshall, and then I did my match at AEW. I asked if I can work with the Nightmare Factory in Georgia, and my coach talked to that coach and sent me to Georgia. And the rest is literally history. I've been busting my ass since then.
So you are right now in the Nightmare Factory?
I'm still there, yes.
I'm still there. Nice. You really are blessed.
I am so blessed. Do you know who my coaches are now? Like, I have
I've heard.
QT Marshall, I have Cody Rhodes, I have Billy Gunn.
Yeah, these are legends.
Every week.
Yes,
every week.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because at least you recognize that, like, some people have had a way harder path there. Listen, everything happens for a reason. I'm sure you probably are more talented or whatever, more blessed, whatever it is. But if somebody sees something in you and you keep going forward, then obviously you have something, right?
Yeah.
At least we think, like,
And these coaches are so busy that more so it's, do you see it in yourself?
Yeah.
If you're not putting in the work, the tagline at the Nightmare Factory is do the work.
Do the work, nice.
Period. Yeah. And if they see you doing the work, then they'll be like, okay, here's something.
Yeah.
And pushing. Oh, I see. Like, that's the one thing. when I'm out doing independence, I feel like there's always 10 set of eyes on me because everything I do, I know it's going to get back to one of my coaches or all of my coaches. Even Damian Adams from my very, very beginning, like I know he knows everything that's still happening with me. He's the first person I contact when I have a question. I'm like, okay. And then I talk to my other coaches. I'm like, okay, all the opinions. Now I make a decision. Let's go.
Well, it's incredible to see everything that goes into a career and a match. So now would you say that being a wrestler is your favorite job you had so far?
Oh my God, yes.
Better than a personal trainer?
Oh. I'm in love with the personal training here. First of all, actually, let me officially thank you for letting me always have a place to train when I'm in Montreal. Like,
this is your home, actually.
It is. It is. It feels like it. Every time I come, Leah's like, I have a training session. You want to join me? Yes. I have the most fun.
And it's you won't see me very often because you girls are training while I'm still sleeping. So I come in much later in the day. I do the night shift. So, but I'm happy to be here.
Someone's got to do it.
Yes. So now you said you watched wrestling when you were younger. Who was your favorite?
Oh, The Rock.
Oh, there you go.
Hands down.
I think at one point he was everybody's favorite. It was so great.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And even now when I'm thinking more about like speaking on the microphone in front of audiences and how to create colorful vocabulary, I'm just like still amazed by his ability to do that. Like it still holds true. Like everything that he did and said, it's like still works now. I'm like, I'm still thoroughly entertained and impressed.
And you can tell it's inspired a lot of people. You see somebody like Ricky Starks or like you see it in them. You're like, oh yeah, but it's not copying, but it's like it's inspired by it, right?
Absolutely.
And it's very it's very good. He changed the world and of professional wrestling. Who's your favorite now?
Right now, oh my goodness,
don't make any enemies.
So many for so many different reasons. What's crazy about my journey is that a lot of my favorites are also now my actual mentors.
Okay.
Who gets to have an idol and then
go
to work with them?
It's incredible.
Or train with them.
Yeah.
How many am I allowed to say?
Well, I'm sure you're the coaches you mentioned before, Cody Rhodes, QT Marshall, and
absolutely.
Who was the Billy Gunn? I'm sure they're like part of your your favorite. Billy Gunn still looks like he's like 25 years old.
Right? His wife just posted. She's like, "Does my husband ever age?"
It's incredible.
Like, no, Paula, he doesn't.
It's incredible. It's something to look forward to even as we age. You're like, yeah, that guy's still pretty good. Let's keep lifting, you know?
He's one of my newest coaches. And actually, I just have to say, I'm so grateful that he is now at the Nightmare Factory.
Yeah.
Because every coach speaks to a different person in a different way. And I have the opportunity also to train with Jade Cargill. And
oh my God! For real?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm a big fan. That's why.
Good, you should be. Hell yeah! Her and we respond to a similar training style. Okay. I feel like her and I bonded over talking about how we receive coaching from Billy.
Okay.
And like the way he says things. And sometimes he'll like sort of make fun of himself. Like, I know I ramble or I'm very detail oriented, but you can just like that passion emanates off of him. If there's anything Billy Gunn gives you, it's that energy, that passion that just like it changed the way that I looked at myself as a wrestler and how I wanted to be looked at as a wrestler. And that was like, I went from fearing him completely. I just like, hi Billy. Okay, can I wrestle today? You know, in training, and like, okay, don't want to mess up. And then to him just like being so passionate about it that I felt free to make these mistakes once maybe, you know, but then like I don't know, I hear him differently and it clicks in a way where like I'm more aggressive and more impactful, I think, in how I execute things. And it's funny because now I'll go back to like everything QT said, everything Cody said, everything Damian Adams said, and I'm like, oh yeah, they did say that. This is
it all comes together.
I feel it now.
So, well, that's great that you're with all those legends. And Tell Jade how big of a fan I am.
I'll tell Jade you said hi.
So I was yesterday when I got the great news that you were down to do this today. I started looking at some interviews, some matches here and there, and somewhere in one of those, I heard that one of your goals for this year was to get signed or like be with somebody, and then I saw another video where like. It's very early on in 2023 still, and they said that goal is pretty much reached. We don't need to say with who or anything, but are you pretty confident your dream has come true?
I can confidently say yes.
There you go.
With all the chills going down my back, I can yes.
That's awesome. Well, congrats on that.
Thank you so much.
What is your favorite match you've had so far?
Oh, okay. Now you're challenging my memory, which since I've started wrestling has gotten worse and worse. Let's see. My favorite match there's a handful of my favorite matches, and I will say Kylan King.
Yes, I've heard of that.
I've worked with her quite a few times, and I am just endlessly impressed with the way she can put together. It's like her creation. She has these ideas, and then once she starts throwing off ideas, it triggers my brain, and then I'm like, okay, and then we can do this. And then she's such a rock in the ring. The Rock now. Yeah. She's so solid in the ring that it gives me the freedom and the liberty to like relax my mind and just be. So every time I have a match with her, it's one of my favorites. It becomes my next new favorite.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
It's nice. And she's I think that's who I saw you against in Dark, no?
I did have a match against her in Dark 2 Septembers ago. It was very
early on, I think.
Yeah, very early on. And I just forgot what I was going to say. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
I was going to go back to that.
We're going through your entire wrestling life in a very short time, so it's all okay. One of my favorite things to do is to watch these wrestling documentaries and stuff like that, because I lived through both like golden ages, and I think we're in the third one, at least for me. The Hulk Hogan, the Andre the Giant time and all that, with after Stone Cold and The Rock, and now I think it's gonna explode again. And I like to hear their stories, the road stories or in-ring funny anecdotes. Anything like that ever happened to you, either on the road or in the ring?
A lot of so specifically to me and my travels, I do a lot of them by myself.
Okay.
So there is that aspect to wrestling that I've always wanted to like. Even like certain wrestlers that I talk to now that are like all in the Midwest, driving to each shows from.
And they're like a gang together.
Yes.
No? Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, we traveled from Iowa to Texas, did the show, and then drove back to Iowa. I'm like, how? Because there's like 5 of them in the car, and it's me. Like a lot of the shows that I get booked on, because I started in the Northeast, I'll always go back to like the New Jersey, Connecticut and area, like New York area. So if I was driving that, I did that a few times when I first moved to Georgia to keep my bookings and keep my relationships with the promoters. But it was always by myself because everyone that I would have gone to the show with lived in Brooklyn, lived in New York. So it was hard. I started requesting for like adjusting rates so that I can be flown in. And then with that, then comes the hotel, because then what, or sleep in the airport. So I guess a lot of the travel stories are just like me singing to myself in the car or making TikToks while I'm driving. Don't do that at home, kids.
That's really good.
Not recommended. My mom called me. Did you just post this from their car? No, it's from before, Mom.
Well, I think that's as good as anecdote wrestling-wise that I've ever heard, so you got it right there.
Yeah, Andre the Giant, top that. Make a TikTok in your car. I'm kidding.
Before, when you came in, you noticed the Don Julio tequila there. And I did an offer. Are you okay to have a drink before a match? I know you have a match tonight, but...
A shot of tequila?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Here, and I'll tell you
We
what
still have
we're
like
cheering
what? How
for.
many hours? We have
Hours.
5 more hours till the show
Oh.
starts. Is this a celebratory shot, or what is the
Yeah,
significance?
I'm going to tell
of-
you what we're
Oh,
cheering
yes.
to in
Okay.
a second. Sorry if I put
Really?
too much or too little. The bottle's there for you to take.
This is perfect.
Dimitri doesn't drink, so
Okay, good for you.
he's never had a drink. No, we're joking. No, he just doesn't drink on the job. But here, I want to say cheers to you because you're a fellow Spartan.
Ah,
Am I right? Spartan race? You did run?
yes.
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
Oh, you killed it. Yeah, I'm
Cheers.
sipping it.
Oh, no, I love tequila. If there's anything, tequila is always a yes.
Yeah, I was glad you enjoyed it.
Thank
I
you.
was looking through things, and this was one of the things that said that you were a Spartan at one point.
Oh my goodness.
I heard you tell a crazy story about you and 2 friends, I think, were supposed to do it, and one guy broke his leg or something.
He severed his Achilles tendon
Oh my God.
like 2 weeks before our date
Okay.
to go. That was my manager at my gym.
Okay.
And then another associate was in the race with us, but he was perfectly healthy, ready to go.
Okay.
I was perfectly healthy, ready to go. And then there was a mix-up with travel for a wrestling event that I had the night before. It was in Chicago.
Okay.
So last minute, the promoter booked me a flight to get me where I needed to go, as I had previously requested, but there was a mistake in the destination. So when he booked it, there was very little options on flights. So I did the show in Chicago, got back to my room at 2 a.m., packed my things, left at 3 a.m. to get to the airport. I had my 5 a.m. flight to get to Asheville. I had 1 hour of sleep before my 13-mile Beast Spartan race. I was very tired. I took some pre-workout by Inspired Nutra, my favorite pre-workout. It literally gave me life to do this. And I don't know if it was the exhaustion or what, but I hit 3 miles out of the 13. And I remember looking up and seeing like the hills we were on and the landscape. And I was like, oh my God, this is so... I twisted my ankle as I was saying beautiful, and I rolled over the ankle, and I still feel it to this day. But in the race, it was so cold in Asheville that it froze the water kind of. So we're running in water, we're running in mud, and I didn't feel anything.
It felt frozen, kind of.
Yeah. So I like walked it off a little bit. My partner was like, "Are you good?" And I was like, "Just need to walk for a minute." And I'm like, "Of course this would happen. We have 10 more miles to go." And obstacle courses, and a lot of the climbing was with their hands, so I felt better. Like I can do this. But what was a result of that, and now I'm very hesitant to plan my next Spartan race because I compensated all my weight onto my left leg because of my right twist. And I strained the whole back of my left leg.
There you go.
So I thought just my hamstrings were sore. And then I had an opportunity to train privately with someone at the Nightmare Factory like 2 days after the race. And I took it. So I had my first day back in the gym for 2 hours, leg day, a 2-hour private training, with Billy Gunn and someone, and then my regular night class. And by the end of the night class, I couldn't straighten my leg or put my heel down.
My God.
It was so strained. It was so tired. The back of my leg, I didn't really know what I did. I didn't realize the compensation.
Yeah.
And then I rested a few more days, and then I had a match or 2 every weekend, bam, like consecutively for like 2 months until Christmas break. And this was November 19th was a show. I didn't get to rest until December 22nd. And I re-pulled my calf almost every weekend.
My God.
And I was skipping. I wasn't able to go to training for like all of December. I will not cancel my booking unless I'm not able to walk.
Okay. So you kept wrestling?
Yes. And I would do it. And I remember that I was in Las Vegas, and I thought I was good. I listened to some advice because injuries or that's a big word, but like things that are tweaked and stuff that you're dealing with, you're constantly dealing with that as a wrestler. That never stops.
Yeah.
You learn how to work with it, work around it, Like I had a girl work my leg as her target body part to beat up so that I didn't have the bad leg so that I could stay off of it.
Oh, that's smart. Look at that.
Right.
You're exposing the business, Ashley.
Hey,
smart.
if it's halfway off, just cut it off.
Yeah.
No, take it. So then it was in Las Vegas, and that happened like I thought I was 100% good. Right when my music hits and I go out, I was feeling so good. I'm walking around the ring, entrance, and I went to run and jump onto the ropes, onto the corner to like
yes,
make my appearance, and it pulled as soon as I was going to jump onto the rope, so the match didn't even start yet. And after that I was like, okay, I need to calm down. I did the whole match and I was just in so much pain the whole match, like fuck.
Well,
it's good now though, but I feel it. I'm like, okay, I can't do that anymore.
No injuries tonight? We're all good?
Oh, we're good to go.
Good. I'm going to be cheering loud.
Thank
I wasn't
you.
sure I was going, but now I have to.
You have to. Good.
So here at the show, we have our goal is to get canceled.
Great. Not my personal goal, but I am here for you.
No, we were not going to put you in that spot. But
appreciate it.
I have some fast trigger question coming at you. So it's
Okay.
going to be... you drank that kind of fast because you might have to go back.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'm going to tell you a name of a person or a show or something like that. And
Okay.
you're going to give me your honest opinion.
Okay.
Please, no PC, no woke answers. And if
What
you
if I'm
don't-
so woke? I'm just kidding.
No.
What?
if you feel that you rather not or you can't or whatever, you have to either say one of these fucked up jokes, read one out loud, or have a shot of
Oh, I'm
tequila.
so curious. Okay.
These are chosen. Sorry,
She already revealed that she likes the tequila. I think you should take it off the table. I think
just the fucked up
jokes.
jokes. All right, you gotta at least do one. Let's say.
I
But,
want to read what your fucked up joke is. I will gladly.
They're about wrestling.
Okay.
So, and a disclaimer here: I do not make them because I did it first and then it got kind of weird. But now I just choose them, and some of them are good, some of them are more PC, let's say. But
Okay.
it's better to answer. But you decide, right? So just quick names of a person and what you think about them, and or a show also.
Okay.
So the first one is Sasha Banks, or Mercedes Monet, as she's now known.
Yes, her hair. That's the first thing I think of.
Yes.
Did you see her
So
new
right-
hair right now?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I can't stop. Yes, her hair.
So, but what do you think of her as a performer? Do you wish ever that you get a chance to work with her?
That would be incredible, and I guess now it's a possibility.
Is it?
So,
Are you exposing
it?
the business even more?
no, no, it's not a possibility. I'm signed now. It still doesn't feel real yet. Somebody pinch me. Are you exposing the business? Why would I be exposing the business? She's a free agent now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not. Got
Yeah,
it.
exactly. The roles of reverse. Now you're signed and she's
Dang.
not.
Now I feel stupid. I don't know. I'm gonna take a shot.
How about Mandy Rose?
Mandy Rose,
Yeah, with that whole saga that happened with her.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, well, it was more than that. No, it was, I think, something where there's, I think, pornographic material or something like that. I don't think it's OnlyFans. It has another name, no? There's a.
I thought it was.
I would have to look it
OnlyFans.
up, but like there's like a more hardcore, if you want, OnlyFans, because OnlyFans could be whatever, right?
Right.
But her, she I think it was more than that. Anyway, she got fired over.
She got
that.
completely fired over it. So my thing is, I thank her for going there and forging that path, because it definitely showed where the boundary was,
Exactly.
and it makes me take my approach a lot differently of like what is okay to do and what not to. Obviously, I think my dad would literally kill me if I did anything like that. Literally kill me. So that wasn't quite a
possibility.
fear, but it's good to know that there is that boundary like that, because
There's that limit.
we are wrestling for all ages, and
Yeah.
my biggest fans are children. So,
there's a line, right?
There's a line.
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't know she was doing things like that, or like not to judge anybody. Do what the hell you want to do, but like
Right.
you say, there's all ages of fans, and you don't want to expose that to kids and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
what do you think of the show Dark Side of the Ring?
I haven't seen as many episodes as I should have, I
Okay.
guess. People talk about it, and I'm like, oh man, I really got to catch up. But I think it's a really cool concept, and it's a nice way to get to know people. I watched the Brian Pillman one because I've been able to work in close quarters with him at AEW, and the Ric Flair one.
Yeah. Okay, yes. It's true. His son is there, Brian Pillman Jr.
Junior,
I think.
yes.
What happened? Oh, that's
the
what
air
it was.
conditioning.
So hopefully we never see you on one of those.
Yeah,
Dark Side of the Ring.
I hope not. So far, it seems pretty light right now. Bright futures.
might make for a kind of not that exciting episode, just driving alone in the car.
Hey.
Yeah, you'll get in trouble, I'm sure, down the line. What do you think of CM Punk?
Honestly, you're exposing me a little bit because when I wasn't watching wrestling was when I think he was at his height.
Okay.
So when I came back in, when I started wrestling, it was such a huge deal that he was, is he coming to AEW or not coming to AEW? And I was like,
big deal, yeah.
I have to learn who this is.
Oh.
I have to learn. Yeah. Don't tell anyone I said that. Okay.
I don't think he listens anymore.
No. So just from the brief chances I had to like be in the same vicinity as him while I was able to be pulled in as an extra for AEW.
Yeah.
It was really cool. He seems like such a cool guy. Like he'll just like walk in when we're having like a women's training class before the show starts on Wednesdays, and he'll like Thunder Rosa was just standing in the ring, and he comes in, just grabs her legs, and they start rolling jujitsu, and I was like, this is normal. This is my job right now. This is Thunder Rosa and CM Punk rolling around the ring, and it seems like a really, I don't know. That
seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
That's the vibe he gives too. I know he's very controversial, but seems like a cool guy to me. So
yeah.
maybe you'll get to know him more. What about Vince McMahon?
So I don't know him personally whatsoever. I haven't ever gotten to meet him, but I have been in those back hallways doing extra work for WWE where I hear him.
Okay. Yeah.
I was like, I hear the voice. So it's very cool to be in that presence, and people like him are a force. Like when he walks into an area, someone just walked into the area. Like when Cody Rhodes walks into a room, you're just like, you feel it before you see him.
All right, cool. So you did well without having to have a
Oh,
shot.
shoot. I forgot the whole...
No,
I
but
should
you
have did that for
answered
CM Punk.
everything.
Like, what do you mean you haven't?
We'll have you read one just for fun at the end.
Okay, perfect.
So, as you know, you have a lot of fans and they're growing. So I asked some, because I have a lot of friends that watch wrestling. So I asked them if they had any questions for you and stuff like that. If you, again, don't feel comfortable answering them, right there. All right?
Perfect. Now I'll try to remember.
Basically, she's not answering any fan.
Yeah.
I'm going to read all the jokes.
Do you have a pre-match ritual?
I always say a prayer. I always, if my opponent will let me, I will hug them.
Okay.
I always need that hug, that little thing, that little, like, yeah, we're out there, we're versing each other. We have a match that we're trying to win. But at the end of the day, we're both athletes and we're both in here for our dreams.
Yeah.
So I always try to make that part of the end of my ritual. I stretch, I warm up, I put extra hot stuff on parts that feel tight or sore. If my opponent will let me also, I realized some people are allergic to that hot stuff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. My muscles love that stuff. So I'm like, I'm so sorry you're allergic. Okay, never mind. I'll just suffer.
Well, okay, you guys get pretty close. You guys and girls get pretty close. So yeah, if they're allergic, it could get a little.
Yeah.
Do you keep track of your win and loss record?
I idly do that.
You?
I have.
Sorry?
I do that, but like
okay.
passively. Sorry, not
Okay,
idly.
okay.
I passively do that. So I don't know the number off the top of my head,
Okay.
but on my notes section in my phone,
Okay.
I have every match I've ever done from the first match I've ever done
Nice.
with a L or a W next to it.
Oh, okay, nice.
So if
nice,
I
nice.
wanted to get a number for someone, I would just scroll a million times and find and count.
That's amazing. You know who does that too?
Chris Jericho.
Exactly.
You were gonna say that.
Yes,
He's
yes.
the reason why I do that.
Oh, there you go.
He's another person that I call a mentor who I can. He's given me advice on promos, on character building, on just things like what I'll cherish later on. Like, it's pretty cool.
He's amazing, by the way. He's a legend.
Yep.
Tell him I said hi too.
I will. My little sister actually. So funny story about that. My little sister would always. She's friends with people who are friends with his wife,
Okay.
and my sister has met Chris Jericho like over a handful of times before I ever started wrestling.
Oh, look at that.
And
Okay, cool.
so she had a connection with him and through his family. And then I step into backstage at AEW and I'm saying hello to everyone, shaking everyone's hand.
Yeah, you
and
must.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho walks by and I'm like, oh my God, hi, my name is Ashley. He's like, I've met you before. Our little sister looks just like me.
Okay.
Like we look like twins. So he was so confused. He's like, we've met. And I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, you met my little sister. And ever since then, he's like, oh, you know this person, you know that person. So it was pretty cool to have like a family connection
Seriously.
between that and now. And he's like, what's going on? Show me your last match. How do you feel about it?
Yeah.
Don't do this again. Do this again.
I think you were meant to wrestle, Ashley.
I
I
think
know you're disappointed about the ballet thing, but I think you were meant to wrestle.
I've never felt more in place.
Yes, it's beautiful to hear. What's another one? How do you choose your ring gear?
Wanna do one more?
Yeah.
One more.
Oh, we have. Well, how much time do we have?
We have time.
Yeah, we have time. Oh, I'll finish it. No. And, how do you choose your ring gear?
So my first idea for ring gear was inspired by Pokemon Go. Yes, over the pandemic, I played a lot of Pokemon Go. And one of the trainers had this style. If you look at my green gear, the whole top, I stole it from the purple trainer from that app. And I just love anything. I like to accentuate my back and my shoulders. So I chose that style cut. When I saw it on her, I was like, oh, that's my shirt. And then I looked at what a lot of the divas were wearing, and I kind of decided that I wanted a two-piece. I wanted shorts instead of tights. And then after that green gear, I wanted to get a little bit more elaborate. And I will say I'm a creative person, but for some reason I couldn't be creative for myself. So I hired a designer.
Oh, nice.
Someone designed my red gear that says D'Amboise on it.
Oh,
And yes.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on your trunks, right? There.
Yeah. So that has that. That was from someone else in the Netherlands put it together for me, and then someone in California made it real.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I don't think you're allowed to call them divas anymore, though.
Am I not? I thought you said no political correctness. What's this PC stuff? Stop being woke all of a sudden. No, I'm kidding.
Have you ever had a wrestling crush? In the past, we're not talking today. Let's not get you in trouble.
Yeah. We already talked about this person, so I can safely say my mother and I both had a wrestling crush on The Rock. We're just going to put The Rock for all of those questions.
Very good. And last question here. Oh, no, I have two more. Parles-tu français?
Oui, j'ai parlé un petit peu de français, mais je ne suis pas fluent as much as I would like to be.
Okay.
Alors, je parle avec
bad,
mon
though.
sœur beaucoup maintenant.
Your sister speaks Québécois. She doesn't speak French.
Oui. When I was growing up, though, I learned French in school. My whole life, I wanted to learn French so that I can speak with everyone in Quebec. And the only thing that was offered was French in school.
Yeah, it's different.
So even when I was feeling my most fluent, I would come visit and I'd be like, family would understand me. I could not understand them. I was like, for me, it sounded a lot of like a lot.
That sounds exactly. That's exactly what it is. So it's French. It's French with that. You just mix the two. You got Quebecois.
I got
right
the
there.
accent perfect now. I'm ready to be unleashed.
It's beatboxing French.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. That's how you speak Quebecois.
That's why the Quebecois is better. That's why.
Very good. And this last question. As a professional wrestler, you have to balance athleticism, showmanship, storytelling in your matches. How do you approach creating and compelling and entertaining performance for your audience while also staying true to your own style and values as a wrestler?
This is a question from a fan.
This is where it gets funny. You don't have to answer that. This is a question from ChatGPT.
Oh.
This was our former guest. That's the AI. It's a computer asking you a question.
Oh, wow.
The creepy thing about this is that he knows who you are and he made a question for you.
Oh,
So the
my
government has
God.
your DNA pretty much, and they're like, they can replace you anytime like this. No, we had this. It's an artificial intelligence. You can download an app. You can ask. Actually, I'm telling you, it's crazy. You can ask them anything. Tell them. Show me a training program for somebody who's 100 pounds overweight, make it over 5 days, 60 minutes every time, and they don't like to do squats, let's say. In a second, it will be there. This thing has passed the law exam, the highest law exam, and the medical one, right?
Yeah, the MCAT.
Yeah.
So now we don't need doctors or trainers or lawyers.
We still need wrestlers and trainers, so we're good.
Absolutely. You know what's crazy about this that you're telling me, and it makes me so much more blown away by my old boss at Lifetime Fitness. The guy who started Lifetime Fitness is so far ahead of his time. He literally brought us in, had a meeting with some of the top trainers, and I was lucky enough to be involved in this workshop, and he told us he's creating something called DPT, Dynamic Personal Training, because you can go online and create a program like this. They have programs and robots that will make design a program for your clients, but what value are you bringing to it as a trainer? Like when I was working with Alex, he was so dynamic in the way that he personal trained. It's like I could not have done that by myself. The services that he provided, that session that he did, was irreplicable by a robot,
by a machine.
Yes. So it's really cool that what he said is true. Like literally, you can make the perfect program, but now you have to make the human follow it.
Yeah.
And stay entertained by it. So you need a trainer to dynamicize it.
Exactly. And the Chat GPT, that app, tells you when you ask them, will you ever replace me as a trainer? Because we asked them that question, and they go like, we can assist you, but we cannot replace you because you have that human side. And like,
wow.
It actually knows. It's pretty smart, as you can tell by the question. Why it was so long to read it.
Yeah, I was like, this fan went in. This fan is curious.
One final question. Is that it? Yeah. Do you have a nickname as a wrestler? What did they call you? Because usually, there's The Rock, but his name was Dwayne Johnson, right? But
right. So, Dan, I have a lot of nicknames. One of the coolest ones, I think, is I remember I was sitting in catering at WWE, and Cody Rhodes walked by, and he was like, "Hey, does everybody here know who Ashley is? This is Ashley Dean Ambrose." And everyone was like, "Oh wow!" And I was like, "So Dean Ambrose, Don Blas, no one can say it. They say Dean Ambrose. They say Dem Boys, or like any kind of alliteration.
Dem Boys.
Yeah,
like those guys there.
Like or anything that is a riff off of something referring to my ass. So there's those nicknames." But I think Dean Ambrose would be my favorite.
But we have fans gave you nicknames here.
Uh-oh.
So you have Lovely and Deadly.
Lovely and Deadly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lovely and Deadly Ashley D'Amboise. Femme Fatale.
Okay.
These sound French, that's one.
I love it.
Battle Arena.
Battle Arena?
Yeah, like a ballerina.
Oh,
that's clever.
the Battle Arena.
Yeah, the Battle Arena.
Nice to know words.
And our friend Chat. GPT, told us that you should be called the Beauty and the Brawn. Ashley
Ooh.
D'Amboise.
I love it.
So
Little
these are
monikers.
Because I don't think you're allowed to use the other one in AEW.
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
All right, Ashley. Before we go to this next questions, you promised us you would read a joke. Or
Yes.
two, so go for it.
Let's see. Let me find the perfect joke.
You can edit this out, but we'll have time. Cause,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, I told her about the headlock. It's gonna take 2 seconds. We'll do it on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Go for it. The trick is not to read ahead. Just say it, because or else it's.
Okay. Well, I just saw the name, and now I have to say something about this name after I read it.
Go for it. No problem.
Okay. All right. John Cena gets knocked out during a wrestling match. 3 hours later, he wakes up in a hospital. John says, slowly, "Where am I?" Nurse says, "I see you." John says, "No, you can't."
You can't see me is this whole thing, right?
Can we do one more?
I would love to do one more.
Go for it.
This was great. I have to tell you.
Not all of them are like that, though. Ashley.
No? Oh, no.
No, go for it.
I liked this one. It was cute. Okay.
Yeah, they're not all cute.
Oh, God. All right. This one's... Okay. All right. Hold on. This says, "I just made my new wrestling name. My name is Off in Church because no one beats Off in Church."
That was pretty good.
You know, I'm glad I read one more. That was, you know what? This is also educational. It's creative. It's factual. Hopefully,
Brings back,
Hopefully.
yeah, brings back religion to our lives. It's great.
Yes, connecting spirituality with wrestling.
You want to do maybe one last one, so we don't end up with that. We don't finish on that one. The other ones are.
I don't know. I'm scared. It's getting worse and worse. All right. Oh no,
hope
this
it's
one
not
is just as long as the. Oh no, this is longer. Okay, hold on a minute. I'm gonna just go like this so I can keep it open. All right. A guy moves to the countryside. His neighbor comes over and invites him to a party. The neighbor says there will be some drinking, some wrestling, and some fucking. The guy says, what time should I come over? And the neighbor says, anytime, it'll just be the two of us. Oh my goodness. Well,
I warned you about the jokes.
yeah, we should have stopped at church because we went from, oh God. Okay, well,
From
did get
bad
worse.
to worse, we
They
went.
did get worse.
Yeah. Okay. I don't trust the rest of it.
I think 3 is a good number. We're going to put that right there.
So Ashley, before we say goodbye, because we would keep you here all day, but you have a match tonight.
Yes.
Here's one last thing I want you to do. Put your hands on the table. Close your eyes.
Uh-oh.
5 years from now, where are you? What championship are you holding?
The AEW Women's World Championship title,
There
man.
you go. That's what we want to hear.
That's where I want.
And I said 5 years, but with you, it'd probably take like 5 months because your goals come
Okay,
like that.
let's.
Well, Ashley, this has been way too much fun. I hope we get to have you another time. Anytime you're in town, this is your house.
Thank you.
And yeah, congrats on everything. You seem to be like on a rocket ship to the moon there. So keep doing that. And good luck for tonight. We'll be watching you. And yeah, that's it. For all of you that have been listening, here's somebody that made it happen. So you do too.
Thank
Bye
you so
again.
much.
It's my pleasure. That was great. Oh my God, you're entertaining.
That was fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more content, click right here for another exciting episode right here. If you want to get in shape, sign up for our online fitness app using the link in the description. Finally, help support us by liking and subscribing. And if you don't want to do none of that, well, at least keep making it happen.